Hello, yes, it's me, Mr. Orger. If you're watching this video, then you most likely missed class today. It was pretty quiet with everybody gone. If you were taking the AP test, hope it went well for you. Hopefully you got your note-taking guide in front of you. This is the final lesson in Chapter 3. We are evaluating logs without a calculator using log properties. Without a calculator, so if you got a calculator in front of you, put it away. Don't use it for the homework. It'll be on the no calculator part of the test next Wednesday. Using your log properties. So kind of keep that in mind. If you're not using log properties to do these, you're probably not doing it right. You need your log properties. I'm talking about product property, quotient property, power property. The big three. Okay, so let's start out with some review. Logs of powers of 10. Okay, so the log of 10, that's asking, so all these are base 10, right? So this is 10 to what power is 10? So 10 to the first is 10. 10 to what power is 100? 10 squared is 100. You see a pattern there, at least with those first two examples. How many zeros are after the 1? That's the power of 10. So the log of 100,000, count the zeros after 10, and there's 5 of them. My camera lost its balance. Okay, so the log of 100,000 would be 5. Okay, with numbers less than 1, it's slightly different. So the log of 0.1, so 0.1 is 1 over 10 as a fraction. So 10 to what power is 1 over 10? Did you come up with negative 1? Because 10 to the negative 1 is 1 over 10 to the first. Okay, log of 0.01, so that's 1 over 100. So that's 10 to the negative 2. 10 over negative 2 is 1 over 10 squared, right? So this would be negative 2. Okay, so notice that our counting the zeros shortcut doesn't quite work here. Like this doesn't have any zeros. This only has 1 0. So at the numbers less than 1, you can't count the zeros. With the bigger numbers, count the zeros. We're counting the zeros after you've made it a fraction. So maybe that's the way to go. So 0.000001, so there's 5 zeros and then a 1 there. So notice the zeros in the denominator, there's 1 more than there are in the numerator. So this would be 1 over 1,000,000. So that'd be negative 6. Or you can count how far are you moving over the decimal place. So here you move the decimal place over to 1. Here you move it over 2 to make it 1. Here you'd move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So this will come into play in some of what we're doing today. So if there's powers of 10 involved, you know, you're expected to know those. Okay. So if you're given that the log of 9 is 0.9542, find the log of 3. Without a calculator, using your log properties. Okay, so we know the log of 9. So what can I do to 9 to get 3? And don't think addition, subtraction, multiplication, division here. Think like powers or roots. We could take the square root of 9, right? Which is an exponent, would be to the 1/2 power. Okay, so 9 to the 1/2 power, that's 3. Okay, now which log property could we apply here? Log of 9 to the 1/2. We can use the power property. Move that exponent out front. Okay, so the log of 3 is going to be equal to 1/2 the log of 9. Okay, so we know the log of 9 is 0.9542. Can you divide that by 2? Yeah, no calculator. So this might involve a little long division. I think we can handle that. 2 goes into 9 4 times, 8. Subtract, you get 1. Bring down the 5, 2 goes into 15, 7 times, that's 14. Subtract, bring down the 4, 2 goes into 14, exactly 7 times. And then 2 goes into that last 2 once. Okay, so here's our answer. The log of 3 is 0.4771. And we got that by using our log properties, using the power property, and then taking half of the log of 9. Notice we didn't take the square root of this number. We can take the square root of 0.9542 because log properties tell us we can use the power property. I wish I was there to answer any questions you have, but I'm not, so I'm hoping that makes sense. Okay, let's move on to example 2. Okay, so all of these we're using this number for the log of 9. So that's going to apply throughout here. So example 2, find the log of 81. So powers you should know. 81 is 9 squared, right? So this will be similar to the last one. Use your power property. So the log of 81 is equal to 2 times the log of 9. So take your log of 9 there, 0.9542. And now you're multiplying that number by 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, put down the 0, carry the 1. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And the decimal point would go between the 1 and the 9. You're counting over 4 spots there. Okay, so there's your answer. 1.9084. What'd you think of that? Okay. Let's let's find the log of 30,000. Log of 30,000. And we earlier found the log of 3, right? So let's use that. Log of 3 is 0.4771. Okay, now we can think multiplication. So 3 times what is 30,000? That'd be 3 times 10,000, right? 3 times 10,000 is 30,000. Okay, so with logs, so think log properties. What do you do with the logs if you're finding the log of the product of two numbers? Product property says we add those logs, right? So the log of 30,000 is equal to the log of 3 plus the log of 10,000. If you condensed these, you would multiply 3 times 10,000, you'd get 30,000. Okay, so then the log of 3, that's 0.4771 from example 1. Log of 10,000, this is what we did at the very beginning, a power of 10. Count the zeros. So that's 4. Add those together, 4.477. Okay. Oh boy. 2 left. Okay, example 4. So this is the log of 9. I guess you have a choice here whether you want to think multiplication or division. I guess it's kind of up to you. Should we think division? .009 is, well, what was I thinking there? 9 over 1,000 is .009. That's what I was thinking. Right? 9 is in the thousandths place, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So .009 is 9 over 1,000. So this is the quotient property, log of 9 minus, when you divide you subtract logs, log of 9 minus the log of 1,000. Or I guess if you like the product property, you could do the log of 9 plus the log of .001. 9 times .001 is .009. So you're going to get the same answer either way. Okay, so log of 9 from earlier was .9542. And then this is basically -3, however you look at it. -3. Okay, so we need to combine -3 combine -3 with .9542. So that's going to be -2 point something, right? If you think about your number line, -3, -2, it's going to be between -2 and -3. I'm adding. Okay, so when I combine these, I should be thinking subtraction. Okay, so if I've got 0 here, 0 minus 2, so I need to borrow to make that a 10. So if I make that a 10, I'm borrowing 1, that makes that a 9, I'm borrowing there, I'm borrowing there, I'm borrowing there. So 3 is the same as 2.99910. Okay, I'm taking one of those. Yeah. Okay, so then 10 minus 2 is 8, 9 minus 4 is 5, 9 minus 5 is 4, 9 minus 9 is 0, and negative 2. So our answer is negative 2.0458. Okay, last example. If we know the log of 2, how can we find the log of 18? Also using the log of 9. Okay, so 18 is 2 times 9, right? So product property, we add the logs. So you would have 0.3010 plus 0.9542, 0.3010 plus 0.95 over 2. Add those together, 2, 5, 5, and 12. So 1.2552. For some of you, probably the basic math is going to be a struggle without a calculator. So practice. Don't use a calculator, don't use your cell phone. Do math the old-fashioned way. Just you and your pencil and your paper. And I hope that made sense and it goes well for you. The homework is worksheet 23. It's in your packet right after the note sheet. And this is it for Chapter 3. Monday and Tuesday we'll be reviewing, and our Chapter 3 test is on Wednesday. So plan accordingly. Get this done over the weekend. Don't procrastinate so that you're ready to go by next Wednesday. All right, have a nice rest of your weekend, whatever's left of it when you watch this, and we'll see you on Monday.